Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
And welcome in. It is a special playoff installment of the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show. We are broadcasting from the Blue Ox Bar and Grill from the Ravens Room here, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourself a hand, folks. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, the original Green Turtle, the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, our friends at Bud Light, FlyLady.net, the Ocean City Golf Club, G&G Outfitters, Ravens247.com, the Comfort Inn Gold Coast, and JCTickets.net. Well, it's week number 3 of the NFL playoffs, game number 2 in the new season for your 13-4 AFC North Division winning Baltimore Ravens. Coming up. I like that ring. Coming up, we're going to recap the 20-13 victory over the Houston Texans. We'll give our grades, talk some news and notes, and also preview the upcoming AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. Second time in 4 years for this team. I'm Mike Bradley, 105.7 The Fan of Baltimore. To my left, former All-Pro Baltimore Colt, Bruce Laird. Bruce, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Editor-in-Chief of Ravens247.com, Tony Lombardi. Tony, welcome back. And OC local former Lehigh College player, John Garrick. John? Good.
OC Man of the Year.
Well, guys, let's get it started here. First off, a note, Ravens coach John Harbaugh becoming the first NFL coach to win a playoff game in each of his first 4 seasons as an NFL coach. I think that deserves a round of applause. And I guess, Bruce, I'll throw it to you. As I said on my show on Sunday after the game, rarely pretty, rarely easy, but the Ravens get the win. And I thought one of my themes was having that home game gave them a bigger margin of error than if they had to go on the road to Houston.
I think the biggest thing for the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Stadium is, of course, their home record. They're very, very good at home. The next thing was you cannot let T.J. Yates, the rookie quarterback, beat you. And that was it. Put it in his hands. Make sure you can stop the running game, which they didn't do very well. But when T.J. Yates had to make plays, the Ravens defense were there, and that was the end of the game. The turnover battle, the giveaway, takeaway battle, 4-0, was the main reason why we won the football game.
Yeah, I think that was the reason why the Ravens won the football game because, in my opinion, they were beaten on both sides of the ball. Line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively, they got knocked all over the place. And I think if not for that turnover differential, they would have lost that football game.
She ain't pretty, but she's mine.
Yeah.
I said, don't mess with my girl.
She's an old pack of crackers.
But, yeah, you guys are right. I mean, we got knocked around and came out 17-3 in the first quarter, and you're thinking, wow, how'd that happen? And because it really didn't play all that great. I mean, a gift. I don't know what Jacoby Jones is thinking on the punt return. Bobbling that.
No, that was huge.
The 2 touchdowns, they only had to go 37 yards to get 14 points. Right. So, I mean, you're talking no turnovers, Tony, but no penalties either. So the Ravens just didn't lose the game, and you hear about that a lot, Bruce. A lot of teams just find a way to lose.
It's one of the major themes of the National Football League that most teams lose the game. You don't get beat. In other words, someone doesn't make more plays than you or get physically beat. They just lose football games, and this was a Houston football team that did that. And I'll tell you a funny story. We played in Cleveland years ago, I think it was 78, and our kicker, our field goal kicker, missed 4 field goals inside the 30. It's not a long plane ride back from Cleveland to Baltimore. We locked him in the laboratory. We put him in the laboratory and told him, sit on the hopper until we get back.
When you've done that anyway, as a kicker.
There again, when John mentioned Jacoby Jones, how do you do that? You got a Peter call. You're not touching. You're inside the 10, and then you decide to pick it up, and it blinks off. I mean, that's dumber than dumber. That show, that movie, that guy's perfect for it.
You talked about the turnovers. 3 interceptions in the game. Ladarius Webb tying a team record in the playoffs, along with Dwayne Starks and Ed Reed. Each had 2 interceptions in previous playoff games. He had 2, and then Ed Reed had 1. But he very easily could have had probably 3 or 4. But you talk about Ed Reed, who hadn't had a lot of picks this year, hadn't heard his name a lot, but boy, he came up big. And Webb, what can you say? He's really had an excellent season at corner.
There's no question. The first one he had, where he basically sat down in the double and ran the route for Andre Johnson, was just a great pick. Very smart guy. The second one, again, a rookie quarterback seeing double man, not realizing it's double man, throws it down the middle. Webby's right there. He's not going to move right off it. He's got Ed Reed over the top, so he knows he's got help. Yates throws him a lollipop. And the last one that Yates threw was the best one because Ed Reed was there waiting for it before the ball got there.
Yeah,
and again, you beat a rookie quarterback.
And when you look at that game, you look at Ed Reed, he's bracketing Andre Johnson the whole game. And guess who TJ Yates couldn't take his eyes off of? Andre Johnson. So I think it was pretty natural for Ed Reed to be involved in a lot more plays than he has been in the past. The smarter quarterbacks, the veteran quarterbacks, they avoid Ed Reed. This guy went towards Ed Reed.
We'll pick up more of the win, 20-14 over the 2013, the Ravens over the Houston Texans. They're going to the AFC Championship game. More of the Ravens Wrap Show coming up next on Comcast Beach TV and 93.5 The Beach.
Are you embarrassed to invite people to your home to watch your favorite football team? Well, don't worry, because you're not alone. FlyLady.net is the support you need. Join us and our more than 600,000 members and learn how to crush the clutter and game plan your way through routines that'll help you organize your home and your life. Tackle clutter and get your home game day ready with FlyLady.net.
G&G Outfitters, Inc. is a premier full-service in-house provider of branded merchandise and marketing solutions. With over 20 years of proven experience, G&G continues to successfully produce branded merchandise for some of the world's leading corporations, associations, and teams. From start to finish, G&G Outfitters is your single-source, one-stop partner for promotional products, logoed apparel, and all of your branded needs. For more info on the services and capabilities of G&G, visit ggoutfitters.com or call 301-731-2282.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
What's going on?
We're giving Matt the NFL experience of a high-pressure field goal.
Look out! It's terrible, man!
There's an easier way to get an ultimate NFL fan experience. Just snap the tag wherever Bud Light is sold and you can win. Bud Light in the NFL. Here we go.
Hey, it gets easier. Really? No.
Welcome back in. It is our playoff installment of the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV at Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach, broadcasting from the Blue Ox Ravens room here, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City. The Ravens 20-13 winners over the Houston Texans in the AFC divisional round game. They now go on the road to New England in the AFC Championship game. Guys, as we continue to break down the victory over the Houston Texans, John, talk about the line of scrimmage and the domination. The offensive line, obviously not a good game. Defensive line, I thought first half, not good. But second half, Arian Foster was held to 12 rushes for 37 yards in the second half. They obviously, made adjustments or just picked up their play. They got it done, and I thought, too, the secondary as a whole played a very good game.
Well, I look at it a little differently. In the second quarter, we're up 17-3. There was the pick, one of the picks happened, and you just could tell that the Houston Texans had to take the ball out of the Yates' hands, and they started running the football. And everyone in the world had to know that Arian Foster had to get some touches. They ran the ball right down. It looked like we didn't even have linebackers or defensive line for that matter. They just ran at will. I think he ran the ball 8 or 9 times in that quarter. had 56 total or 64 total yards.
I think there was a drive where he had over 50 yards on one drive. Yeah.
Rushing,
It was like
and then
4 or
another,
5 rushes.
and then, some more rushing. I think they just took, and then he came out running in the third quarter, their first drive. He rushed the ball twice. He rushed the ball like 14 times in the second quarter in that first drive, and like 10 times the rest of the game. So for whatever reason, I just do not get why they put the ball in the rookie quarterback's hands on the road, a guy that was clearly struggling already, when you have one of the best players in all the league who was absolutely gashing and destroying us. And when you get those big offensive linemen in a groove where you're just completely dominating, why they took them out of that groove, the coaching staff, talk about an offensive coordinator that needs to be fired. I mean, that guy is a Kubiak.
Well, he's the head coach.
He's the play caller.
At least he's
fire himself.
Fire himself from the offensive coordinator.
Tony,
that was terrible.
Tony, we talked about this before the show. Were you surprised that Chuck Pagano didn't load up against the run and just sell out completely and just let TJ Yates beat him with the passing game? It looked like we played a lot of coverage, and obviously Andre Johnson, 2 very good tight ends, but what were your thoughts on the game plan?
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that too, because as John said, Arian Foster was the guy. I mean, if you can stop Arian Foster with that rookie quarterback on the road in Baltimore, where they're just really difficult to beat, I think that's the game plan, and I didn't see that. Either I didn't see that, or that offensive line for the Houston Texans just really knocked the snot out of the Baltimore Ravens defensive line, and that could have been the case. But even in passing situations, Mike, I thought it was very interesting how we dropped into coverage with 8 guys many times and only rushed 3. He never put him on the carpet once. To me, when you knock a rookie quarterback around coming from the University of North Carolina and the ACC, you want to knock him around a little bit at M.T. Bank Stadium with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't understand the game plan at all from Chuck Pagano.
Well, again, a 3-man rush to me, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's a really catch-shoot. But the opening of the field, Tony and everybody, the middle of the field against our linebacking, that's what bothered me early on and maybe later in the second and third quarter. Way too many passes we give up inside those numbers. Yeah. No linebackers anywhere to be seen, and that's been our Achilles heel, and Tom Brady will certainly go after that.
Up 17-3 at the end of the first quarter. You look at them getting back into the game. There was a play, 3rd and 8 at the Ravens 30. They gave up a 13-yard completion to Owen Daniels. They ended up kicking a field goal 17-6, and then later on another drive, there was a 3rd and long situation. Hey, Foster made a great play on the screen pass. It was a good call against the defense there, and all of a sudden it's 17-13, and they're right back in the ballgame.
There you go. And again, we were talking about that Tony just mentioned. You have a rookie quarterback. He's playing away from home. You win games at M&T Stadium. You got to pressure him a little bit. We sent 5 people very, very rarely. And again, this offensive line of Houston, by the way, is 7th overall since Kubiak has been there, their head coach. 7th overall in the entire NFL of giving up sacks. So they got some players on their side, but at the end of the day, my mindset is pressure the rookie. Make sure you give them different things, and I think they got away from that for whatever reason.
I guess at the end of the day, though, guys, it did work. They did end up getting, 3 picks in the backfield, and they controlled the guys. Andre Johnson, it might look great, 8 for 113, but his longest catch was a 19-yarder. No touchdowns, both tight ends, Daniels and Dreesen, had a combined 2 catches for 20 yards. So I agree with your assessment. I'm shocked we didn't go after him, but it did work at the end of the day.
It worked. I'm not going to sit here and say that was a dominant defensive performance. So why they didn't run the ball, I don't understand. We got past it. That's a good team. Look, that's a really good team. Yeah, really good.
They are. They're going to be atop of the FC South for a while.
No Mario Williams. I mean, they got after
no Matt Schaub.
No Matt Schaub. I mean, but you got a defensive line that's giving us hell, and they don't have one of the best defensive ends in the league. Isn't even him playing for him. So, I mean, think about it. Put him
Still got a lot of good players on that front. You're right. It would have been scary if Mario Williams played.
And even Ed Reed. I mean, a lot of those guys knew if Matt Schaub played the game himself, I mean, we'd probably lose that game. Yeah. So that's a good team. We got past them, and now we got to play the next one.
A lot more to get to, guys, coming up here. It is a special playoff edition of the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach T and Delmarva's Rock Radio, 93.5 The Beach with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand. We will be back. Keep it here.
Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.